In round 4, game 1 of the 2025 Clutch Chess Champions Showdown, Magnus Carlsen sits down with the white pieces against reigning World Champion Gukesh Dommaraju. Magnus chose a flexible ready setup with 1.nf3 and g3, keeping the structure fluid and avoiding early commitment, while Gukesh responded solidly with a Slav-like setup. The early decision by Black to exchange on f3 after 5.cxd5 was slightly imprecise. It helped White develop harmoniously and strengthened Magnus' central control without creating real weaknesses. Magnus handled the opening very cleanly, castling early and building a strong pawn center with d4 and e3, while Gukesh's setup was correct but somewhat passive. The maneuvering phase from moves 12 to 20 was high quality from both sides. Magnus regrouping with b1, e2 and nd3 showed deep positional understanding, aiming for flexibility and long-term pressure. Gukesh's 15f5 was ambitious and principled, trying to claim space and create kingside play, but it also slightly weakened the e6 and g6 squares. The queenside expansion with na4, nc5, nd3 and b4. b5 was a strong plan by Magnus and clearly one of his best strategic decisions, fixing Black's queenside and gaining space. The exchange sequence with 23.rxc7 rxc7 28.rxc7 qxc7 simplified the position, and here Magnus judged correctly that the resulting structure favored him due to better piece coordination and more active minor pieces. Gukesh's 27, e5 was a necessary break and a good practical decision, but after 29.dex5 next 530.next 5b's 5 the position tilted slightly toward White, as Black's kingside play was not fully developed yet. The critical moment came with 31f4. This was an aggressive try, but strategically risky. Magnus reacted accurately with 32.x4 gxf4, allowing structural damage to Black in exchange for activity. From here onward, White's piece play became dominant. The sequence 34.qe2 and 35.qe6 was very strong, forcing concessions and creating tactical pressure on d5 and e5. Gukesh's 36, c6 simplified, but led into a difficult endgame where White's bishops were clearly superior. The endgame phase highlighted Magnus' precision. Moves like 38.bb4 and 39.bc4 were excellent, restricting Black's pieces and targeting the weak d5 pawn. Gukesh defended resourcefully, but 40 fxg3 allowed White to activate the king and open files at the right moment. From 42.f4 onward, Magnus demonstrated classic endgame technique, steadily improving the king and fixing weaknesses. Gukesh's defensive setup with bd2 and b1 was resilient, but it lacked counterplay. Magnus' bishops completely dominated the board, and the king marched with k4. kf3 was a model example of converting positional pressure into a winning advantage. By the time 48.k4 was played, White had full control. More active pieces, better pawn structure, and a clear plan, while Black was reduced to passive defense with no realistic counterchances.